And it was the first opportunity I've had in all of the places that I've traveled with Right to Play to sit down and speak with the parents about their experience of their children playing sport and doing red ball child play activities. We do not have any film footage of when the meeting was going on, and that's because for the women, they do not like to be photographed and they do not like to be videoed. So we really had to honor that, so there were no cameras in the room when we had this meeting.
Outside of our community, उन लोगों को कहते हैं कि आए हमारे स्कूल में आप लोग भी एडमिशन ले कि स्पोर्ट्स की वजह से because of sport.
Tamina is the assistant coach overseeing the school for the Right to Play. And Tamina had to work very hard to sensitize the parents to let their children do sport and play activities at this school. Their initial resistance was very strong, but she said to them, I am also a daughter. Trust me, give me 1 week with your children and let me see what I can show you about what we can do with these activities. I will be with them all of the time, so do not worry. So they gave her 1 week, and they came back a week later and they saw the activities, the red ball child play activities that she was doing with the children, and they said, okay. So she said, give me 1 more week. And week by week she gained their confidence, and more children started to come. More children started to say to their parents, this is the school I want to go to. And so through the children, through the power of sport and play, through the children and through the parents' trust, parents who also told other parents, do not be afraid. The sport and play is actually very good for your children. It is not just passing time. It is actually very good for their education and very good for their health. More and more children began to come to the school. And it was very rewarding, incredibly rewarding to hear that from the mothers themselves, that Right to Play had earned their trust through these new activities, new to their culture, and that they were seeing very real benefits in their children. At this school, Julie got involved playing the over-under game, and she was quite good at it. I secretly got involved in playing the shortest to tallest game. And shortest to tallest is the game where there are 2 teams created of 2 groups of children, and 2 leaders are chosen to be blindfolded. And then the coach mixes up the rest of the children into different heights side by side. And the objective of the game is to make sure the children are in consecutive height, and the child who's blindfolded needs to move them around. So we got all of that set up, and then I secretly joined one of the lines to see if I could fool the child with the blindfold on to determine whether or not was I of that school or not of that school, and was I tallest, which of course I was by about 2 feet. And they figured that out pretty quickly. So it was really fun to participate with them in the games, again, creating that connection, creating that sense of teamwork through sport, and really experiencing the games with them. The next school we went to was the Bettles School, and it was a very small school, just a couple of classrooms. And again, there weren't that many of them, but on the walls behind them were these fabulous stencils of children doing sport activities, and it was just a very special environment. And you could also see the limited play space that they had. These are children who don't have much when they go home, and when they come to school even, their space is, I don't know how big it was, maybe 40 by 40 feet. And so the fact that we can actually conduct these activities in such a small space, it was good to see, but it also raises the importance of more play spaces for children. And we went there specifically to see some Live Safe, Play Safe activities. What we saw that day within their schedule, though they didn't put on Live Safe, Play Safe activities, they did put on a play. And it was fantastic to see the children putting on a drama about the importance of soap. And they had some posters that they shared, and then the children came out. There were a number who were germs, who surrounded the children who were playing, and then another little boy was soap. And so they took it quite seriously. And the lessons that were learned when the coach debriefed with them were fabulous. And it was really great to see the extension of the Live Safe, Play Safe activities brought into drama as well. Our next stop was to go to the Danish School, and the Danish School is in a refugee settlement, and it's a very dry area outside of Kuwaita. In fact, we drove along very dry roads, again very narrow roads to get there, and when we got to the school, a very small school but with probably 1,000 children attending, the entire backyard, if you will, of the school and the back wall had been completely washed away by rain. And so what had previously been a flat sport pitch in the middle of the school was now probably a 45-degree angle down into a ditch, which made for some very interesting volleyball playing. On a volleyball court that was very difficult to play on. Half of it was high and half of it was low. So we watched them play for a while, the children at the school watched them play, and then I decided to hit the ball around for a while. Just show them that women know how to play volleyball too. At the Danish School, we had the chance to see some children play musical chairs, one of the Red Ball Child Play activities. And they dragged these chairs out of the classroom, and these chairs were very old and very rickety. But they had a lot of fun playing the game. There were girls playing and there were boys playing. But there was a request at the end when we had a chance to meet with the coaches. Could we support them in any way? They did ask for some new chairs. Well, as we left the Danish School, one of the coaches who was very engaged in our conversations at the school invited us to go to his family home for some Uzbek tea. And so we went inside their compound, and there were grapevines hanging above, some cows that were grazing. It was a lovely setting, and we sat down in their sitting room, and we had Uzbek tea, and we had some local pastries, and it was really warm and inviting. So it was a really wonderful moment to finish the day.